And I think we're live.
Yes, we are.
Well, guys, we're streaming this right now on 12 separate channels. So whichever channel you're watching on, thank you. Welcome. Hit that like button. And I'll tell you what. So you know, the title of this video. Some people have their tabs open. I can hear people like listening to their audio and stuff. So just if you've got the tab open, just be sure to close it. You know, the title of this video is Fundraiser for Miriam Francis. The description of the video explains why we're doing the fundraiser. The ticker going across the bottom of the screen shows you how you can donate to Miriam. And how this came about was Poe decided he wanted to do this. And the rest of us were like, ain't no way we're letting Poe do that on his own. We gotta show up and we have to all help with this. So, you know, Poe, why don't you just say a few words on what the idea was and what made you want to do this?
Absolutely. Howdy, everybody. Well, when I heard about what was going on with Miriam and the fact that she was wanting to get the DSR, she needed to raise money for it. I said, you know what? We've got a community here of people that we all show love and support for. It's going to be no problem getting this raised for Miriam. So down at the bottom, you see the link there to Miriam's PayPal. Type that in and let's make sure she gets that treatment she needs. Tonight is about a celebration. We're celebrating Miriam and how strong and how good a person she is. So we all came together because we're all family here and we wanted to show that support. So.
Hey, Miriam, how are you?
Look who we have,
Rabbit.
Hey, Rabbit.
Hi, Rabbit.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Rabbit. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm so appreciative of all the support I've had. It's been crazy, like insane. I could not have imagined to have received this kind of support. And yeah, it's just incredible. If, you know, this is, going to give me the potential to get the treatment that I'm after sooner than if I was to do it on my own. And, you know, I'm just so appreciative. If the thing that I hope for is to just alleviate some of the pain and pressure that I carry with me in every day. It's in every waking moment, and it, you know, stops me from falling asleep at night. It's like a monkey on my back that is just this constant pressure. And if there's something that can alleviate that pressure for me, you know, that's something, you know, it can improve my life. I'm really hopeful to get that. And it's not to say that I couldn't save up that money on my own. It just would take me time to do it. And, you know, and this is going to give me the possibility to be able to achieve that sooner than on my own. And yeah, it would be amazing. So
let me say, Miriam, if you go above your goals, my thoughts on it are every penny that comes in, if it's above what you need for that treatment, take that money, do something good for yourself. You've been living basically like a hostage over these memories. It's time to do something good for yourself. Treat yourself nicely. We're a community. We all want to show you love and support here, hon. So if you go well above it, take a nice vacation for as much as I care on it. I want you to be happy.
Thank you. Yeah, that's amazing. Thanks so much. Yeah.
I have two proposals. Well, first of all, I think people would appreciate knowing generally how much are we trying to raise. It's somewhere in the vicinity of $5,000 or $6,000. Is that right, Miriam?
Okay, so the total amount is about $5,000 US. But so far have received in people who have contributed over the last couple of weeks, it's about 3,000 US. So I actually have about 2,000 US dollars because I have to convert it back. I'm getting the treatment here in Australia, so I'm obviously it's going to be in accordance with their fees. But and so yeah, I only have that amount left to raise, so that's pretty incredible. Yeah.
Awesome.
With all the people watching.
And even though we have 9 people on screen, we're streaming to 12 channels. We have like 20, 30, 40 people who are going to participate, you know, coming on here. So you'll see people cycling in and cycling out. And we really just wanted to show how much support there is in the community, how many people are coming together for this. And like you said, it really is a celebration. Also, if you're watching, please, super chats and memberships are completely separate than actually donating for the cause that we are doing this stream for. So if you're donating to Miriam, please send it to the PayPal link below. If that is your intention, that's where it needs to go.
Absolutely. I'm not looking for.
Oh, and if anyone wants to say anything, just stick your finger up, because otherwise we're going to be trying to talk over each other. So just go like this and you know, yeah, that's all.
Well, I think we need to start this off properly with a weather report from Chad.
Oh, excellent, Bo. Yeah, let's get right to work, folks. A lot of work to do.
73 degrees in Clearwater, Florida. 0% precip, Po. The wind is at 5, and 84% humid, Po.
There we go.
Wow.
Chef's kiss. Beautiful.
It's
Thank
it's
you.
a hallmark of the lives with Chad. So, Sam, how about you? How you doing, bud?
Pretty good. Yeah, chilling.
So, how you feeling about tonight?
Good. Yeah, I'm definitely very happy like that you guys are supporting her, and yeah, that's a big deal. So,
Absolutely.
thank you all.
And
Yeah, seriously.
did everyone see that down at the that just popped up there?
Amazing. I didn't
That
see
was
it.
Clearwater George,
was
my
amazing.
buddy. Otherwise, his channel is surrounded by Scientology, and he will match. Well, here he is again, surrounded by Scientology. Clearwater George will match the first $500 donated. Here's the problem, George. The donations don't show up on the screen.
Yeah. So, Miriam, let us know when that happens.
I'll have to check.
Just send that 500 in.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
It's gonna happen.
So, all right. So Chad's going to step out for a little bit here, and we got somebody else who's wanting to jump in. Go ahead and get them in. Thank you, Chad. We'll see you back in a little bit here.
Thanks, Po.
All right, bud.
Thank you,
Hi,
Chad.
Thank you, Chad.
All right. And here we go. Look who we've got.
Hey.
Ooh.
Gotta get you set up right there. There we go.
How you doing,
He's got
Mike?
the red and
Mike.
blue lights. Look at that.
Hey. Good to see you. I just finished over on my other stream where I had Jamie Mustard on, and we were talking about this procedure. And it was a good talk, and I kind of outed myself in terms of all of the shenanigans I got myself into in Afghanistan. So I made a good case for post-traumatic injury remediation, and I'm actually going to be getting the procedure myself in about 3 weeks. And
Wow.
for me, the actual donations occurred from a veterans charity. A veterans charity is paying for both my wife and I to receive the dual sympathetic reset procedure. How that process looked for me was I got in contact with this organization. A Navy SEAL commander is one of their board members. He called me. We BS'd on the phone for about 20 minutes. We found out that I'd probably flown him in Afghanistan a couple times. After we were done, he said, "Hey, I'm going to just call the clinic. They have my credit card on file for the nonprofit. Let them know you and your wife fully covered, and let me know if you need anything." I didn't have to give him a stool sample. I didn't have to sign any paperwork. It was crazy. So I felt very blessed to be able to do this, and I had the support I needed, and now we're going to provide that for Miriam as well. And the point of what my live was tonight was like, hey, I'm going to go and get this. And this is me before. And I talked about one of my shoot down incidents in Afghanistan and what that was like for me. And then I'm going to be able to share a little bit of that later, where I'm going to go back and actually like, hey, this is before the procedure, after the procedure. And this is, what it was like, how I feel differently and what it did for me, because between Scientology and the military, I got a little bit of scar tissue. So we're going to see what it does for me there. And I think us being able to provide some help with Miriam is all we should be doing. Anyway.
Absolutely. Kelly, you had something to say?
I have a question for Mike.
Yeah.
Are you going to document the actual procedure itself? Can you do that? Like, 'cause it's still a mystery to me, really. I know it's like an injection in your neck or something, but would you consider filming it?
Yeah, so I'm going to ask them if they'll let me, and if they will, then I plan on doing it. But really, what it is it's bupivacaine. It's the same stuff that you get for an epidural. It's an injection. It goes into a bundle of nerves in your neck, and that is the actual connection between your sympathetic nervous system that controls fight and flight of your body when you've had a bunch of stress in life and you're just keyed up all the time and like can't bring it down, which is how I am a lot. It turns that down, and then when it comes back online, it's like turning the volume on Alexa that's like too loud, and it's like, Alexa, turn down the volume, and it won't do it. It just like, ooh, it turns it down.
Yeah.
And it doesn't change you. It just gets rid of all of that noise so that you can then go to other therapy solutions and be able to focus on them. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm going to report back, and I'm going to try to document it.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Well, I tell
I
you
want.
what.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry,
That's really
I'm jumping. I wanted to add. Well, I don't know. I've spoken a little bit about this on Rabbit, but the reason, obviously my experiences, my traumatic experiences were from when I was, a young child. And you do, like, I carried that burden for a long time. But what's happened recently is that in December last year, one of the investigators in my case contacted me and told me about the details of the in-person police interview with the perpetrator in my case, and the details that were confessed to, and the details that were then passed on to me by the investigator were so shocking because I didn't remember them because I was 3 years old. And that was when I really started to experience the severe post-traumatic stress. I think I had been living with it. It was my normal for so long. I didn't, it wasn't so apparent to me, but it was the beginning of December. I think it was around the 1st of December last year was when this huge load was, this huge traumatic load that it just became difficult to be my normal. And it just sent me for a period of about 3 months, to this kind of other realm. And so that was when after that happened was when it became really real to me. I had never before understood or really experienced or knew that I had experienced post-traumatic stress until that time, and the way that it affected me for months after that, it was just very real. And that was when I was in this desperation of, I need help. I don't know how I can keep surviving this. And that was my cry to help. And so I'm so pleased that, I feel like that cry for help has been answered now. And it's really hard to be in a position where you're so desperate. Like, you're so desperate for help and you just want to alleviate the pain. And I'm so glad that, that's something that, the possibility of that is really, really incredible. Yeah.
Just realize you're here with, we're basically a family. We're here for you. We're here to show you that support and love that you need. So anything you need, you just tell us. We're here for you.
Thank you.
Well, why don't we have everybody introduce themselves? I'm sure everybody knows me and Aaron, but what about that lady in between us?
Hello, hi guys. I'm Marilyn Honig, aka Mama Bear, aka Xenu Crochet Lady. I have a channel called Coffee Cults and Crafts, and I just consider myself an ally to the gems. We call you guys the gems, like a gemstone. I have to give credit to Pup Grimmer 20, she's a viewer and a supporter, and she came up with that idea, just calling you guys the second and third gems, in first and fourth, whatever generation you are, the gems. So instead of I am a quote never end, but I like to call myself a gem ally. So that's what I am. I'm here for you all, and I am a cult survivor myself. So I feel like I have a special connection to this community. So that's me.
Don't burn her biscuits.
Yeah, don't be burning my biscuits.
Can I just say one thing about Marilyn? Her support has been incredible, and her advocacy, just such a strong voice that has come forward, where you've stood up to bullies, you've defended me in ways, and I'm just really grateful for that. I watch your videos a lot, and I just really appreciate the voice that you've had coming from your own lived experiences and recognizing where advocacy is needed. I've appreciated you throwing your voice towards that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's my pleasure. You make me cry. Thank you.
Oh,
You're precious.
who's this guy sitting in the car down there? Who are you?
In the car? That's Sam.
Sam.
Sam, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, Sam.
Yeah. Welcome to my office. No, just playing. Yeah, I'm Miriam's brother. So yeah, that's me.
Love it. Joe, sweet, love it.
And who's that young lady on the bottom?
Miriam, I think.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Sam.
Oh no, I just think like kind of what you've been through and what you've done like recently has been a very big like show of courage, and I think it's doing good for a lot of people outside of just your own, circle of influence. I think it's having a positive impact. So thank you, Miriam. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Sam. I really appreciate you saying that. Yeah, that's amazing. I'm always worried because there is collateral damage when I do speak out about things. And I am wary of, hurting other people. Sometimes the things that I need to talk about are incredibly uncomfortable. And I know that both Sam and Catherine have been affected by things I've spoken about publicly. So, maybe on an emotional level, but also in terms of the people that they're connected to in their lives, they've both been subjected to disconnection because of me speaking out publicly. So to have the two of them here today is, just still standing by me is just incredible. Yeah.
Absolutely. Who's that guy?
Can I say something too?
Go right ahead.
Isaac.
Go ahead.
I don't think my mic's working, huh?
Oh, your mic's
okay.
on.
It is. Okay, good. I just want to say Miriam and I grew up together. She's in my book. She's the only one who's in my book as a non-pseudonym because we both have supported each other through so much. Yes, you spoke out first and it was such a scary thing and I supported you, but I had to be secret about it. But my parents found out anyway through their OSA ways of the Sea Org, and my parents disconnected. But it would have happened regardless, right? Like there would have been some dumb reason and I would have lost my family. So like I feel so proud of you and that time to tell your story on Leah Remini's show. Like that was so hard to do. And I've respected you so much for it. And then on top of it, we've always been close, so close. But people don't know, like she read my book when it was like crap, like barf on words on a manuscript. And the amount of time she put into helping me write my book, and like your support for me, I never would have written this book without her support and encouraging me and telling me to do it. And like she made me be another voice also speaking out on the horrible stuff that Scientology has done. So like everybody, like give her help. Like she is such a good friend, such a good person. And on top of that, she still advocates for what's happening in Scientology and like, the Danny Masterson trial, like covering that, giving people that information they need to know really what was happening to these women who were being suppressed and told not to speak out and to report what had happened to them, like, and explain exactly what it is like in the Sea Org and in Scientology. Doing that in detail was, oh my gosh, so good. So like, I'm so glad all of you are putting this together for her, and I'm here for you always.
Absolutely.
Thank
Once
you,
you let everybody
Catherine.
know who you are that doesn't know.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Catherine Spallino. I wrote the book, The Bad Cadet. So if you've seen that around, I grew up at the ranch, the Pack Ranch Cadet Org with Sam. Sam's also my book, but he's under a pseudonym. I could change it if you want, Sam, and you could have your real name. And Miriam, they're both in my book because I grew up with them. And yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so the three of us were born into the Sea organization. So our parents were in the Sea Org, and we were born into this child system where we had no rights. It's interesting to be in a position like where we never knew that we could ask for help for anything. So to be here today in a position where I'm asking for help is like, it's a really uncomfortable feeling, but it is pretty incredible. I think that it was like the strongest people survived and kind of lived to speak out and to try and give what they didn't have for themselves, try and give that to other people. And that's really what we're trying to do. And we do that through storytelling, whatever way that we can, whether that's through art or it could be through music, to represent that story and to, provide information to people.
Excellent. Excellent. How about you, the little blonde lady down there in the corner? Who are you?
Did you just call me blonde?
Yeah, that's what you
hair.
look like
Little.
there.
He's not talking about me. I'm not the blonde one. So.
Not talking about me.
Well, you're not
My
down in
hair
the
is-
corner.
What
and
about Aaron?
To be fair,
Mike-
you do look
Auburn,
Mike
sir.
would be the attractive brunette over in the middle. So
We
on the
all
right.
know that Aaron is a natural ginger. We all know.
Yeah. Well, I am too. So So tell us who you are, young lady.
Yes, I am Kelly Copter. Hello. I've been a suppressive person since I was 6. Now I make YouTube videos and sing songs, and it's really fun. And I'm happy to be here supporting Miriam. I think you're so brave. I think you are a true survivor, and the way you have been able to speak about your experiences, I think, is not only powerful for yourself, but for other people that are watching, because we know that this kind of awful crime happens all over the world. And I think your story will be really inspiring to those people. So I'm glad I can be here to support you.
And I'm sure no one knows who it is on the bottom right there with the R on the wall next to her. But if you could introduce yourself.
Hi, Rabbit.
Hey guys, thank you. Sorry I was a little late. Baby Bunny's birthday, and it's her birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Bunny.
It's like her birthday was on Friday, but I think it's gonna extend for the rest of the month, and we're just like the first week of the month. But anyways, I'm Rabbit. I'm from the channel Down the Rabbit Hole News. Miriam, I am just so proud of you. You are strength. That's what I see, and I want to thank you so much for trusting me. And every day it's interesting because every day we get somebody, especially in my comments, Miriam, I stand with Miriam, I'm with Miriam, Miriam. So you have a whole community of support. Some of these folks, we really don't even know each other like that, but I appreciate that you trusted me. To be able to do what I could to, deliver information or say information or whatever it may be. So you are awesome. And just know that there's a lot of people that stand.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much, Rabbit. What you allowed me to do was just really incredible because, and first of all, I want to say about Rabbit is when I came to her with what I wanted to talk about, and in particular with these 16 questions that have been quite controversial, she pressed me on them. Like she pushed back on me to say like, okay, are you prepared to back yourself? Like, do you have enough that you're willing to, put this out there? She didn't just do it to just give me, freely to give me a platform. I had to earn it in a way. And I really, really appreciate that because I appreciate being asked hard questions. And that, it pushes me to examine my own information. Like, what am I basing this on? Am I confident in this? And I really appreciated that from Rabbit. I also wanted to say that, that what I was facing was potentially a lot of backlash. It was never going to stop me. I didn't realize ever that I was going to get the amount of support that I did get in the end. And I also wanted to say that when I first burst onto Rabbit's screen, I had so much emotion. I was experiencing betrayal because a person had perpetrated a lie against me for at least 6 years and saying that they didn't know anything about anything. And it turns out they knew a whole lot. And what I wanted to say is that what I'm going through and what I'm pushing for is a correction. It's a correction on the record because that person is being believed as someone who is a whistleblower, a truth teller, a trailblazer. He has all these accolades and prestige and victims who are going to him for support. And that's incredibly dangerous. And what I want to do is it needs a correction. I'm correcting the record to say this person is not a safe person. This person is not someone that victims should go to, particularly if they are a victim of the actions he's perpetrated against them. And so that's where I'm coming from. I'm going to continue to do that and share the information that I've put together. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
this is such an amazing group. Let me just say that you guys are so awesome. So thank you so much for letting me be part of this. Thank you so much.
We love you too, Rabbit. We love you too.
Thank you guys for inviting me
Rabbit.
on. I'm so glad you're getting support. I'm gonna leave because I know other people have to come on.
Yeah, we're just getting ready. I'm going to pull some of this out. I'm going to turn this over to Aaron. So,
do we need to do the back out? What are we doing? Are we doing the rotation?
Yeah, we're going to rotate some more folks, and I'm going to step out as well. Aaron,
Everybody.
you're going to take over. So
What?
Leave. Good luck.
My pearl.
See you later.
Bye.
Where's Aaron? He should be.
He left.
Someone
He left.
keeps
in there, Aaron.
messing
I'm
with the
stepping
buzz,
out. We got
man.
some more
What's
folks coming in.
happening?
Well, we got
Aaron, yours.
we got a real shady one coming in now.
What? Zach.
Who is that sitting there?
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Zach.
Who kicked everyone out? Oh, Natalie.
Hi.
Uh-oh. Look at this one.
Whoa.
You're wearing SP
Jamie.
Goldenrod. Hey, Jamie.
Hey, good to see you all. And then some people I don't know. Natalie, nice to meet you.
Dylan.
Yeah.
Hey,
And I'm going to
Dylan.
back on out. We'll
Ooh,
bring one more in.
Sterling. Hey, Sterling.
Hey,
Sterling
Miriam,
Beefcake
how are you?
Tompkins.
Oh, hey, Marissa.
There's a lot of people in this party.
Marisa.
Hey, Marissa.
Muy spicy.
Hi. Oh, wow. I'm already in.
By the way, friends don't
Welcome.
let friends not plug in their microphones. Jamie Mustard, you might want to check yours.
Unmute Jamie.
No, can't hear
We
you.
can't hear you.
Hey, Rabbit, how you doing?
Thank you.
Zach, nice
There
to
we
meet
go.
you.
And you as well.
Natalie,
Thanks for
nice to meet you.
Natalie, nice to meet you. I've been, watching you, and Zach, nice to see you, and yeah, meeting new people. Marissa, never met you, but nice to meet you.
Hi.
You as
So,
well.
guys, I was paying
Oh, it's
attention
Reese.
to the live chat the whole time. I have no idea how
Reese.
Poe was guiding this thing. I've been put in the driver's seat. It's totally not fair. So, how was he deciding whose turn it was to speak? Hi, Reese.
Hey, brother.
How
Good
you doing?
evening, everybody.
Yep.
Real good.
I feel like we should only have 9 on at a time.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Hi,
I can
Dylan.
leave.
All right, Reese, you're on the bench.
I can drop.
Oh, all right, Rabbit, you're on the bench. Okay.
Boom.
Actually, I'm going
Thank-
by the itinerary that Mike gave me.
Okay, you're just following orders. I understand.
Yep. A good soldier. That's all I'm doing. So,
All
right, I'm
all
stepping.
right. Okay, good. And then I'm going to
Yes,
click
it's
and
good.
drag. Boom. That looks great.
Yay.
When
All right. Anyway, hey Zach, you want to say a few words?
Yeah. Thanks everybody for being here, and thank you for letting me come and hang out with you guys tonight. And I also want a huge appreciation to the moderators. A lot of us share moderators, and I know they're working incredibly hard at this point, juggling 47 different streams. So, but we're all here to take care of Miriam. And as Poe said earlier, if there's anything that we in the community can do to help you, there's a whole bunch of people I got to do is reach out. We'll take care of you.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much.
Natalie, I have lost track. Did you already say a few words, Natalie?
No. Hello, everybody. I'm Natalie. Some of you I haven't had the opportunity to meet yet. It's fabulous. Miriam, I haven't met you yet. I just want to say that I admire so much your courage and your strength and your ability to just seek justice and mostly just be persistent. Well done. I really admire that about you. And I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's amazing.
All right, Reese, you're in.
Well, I wanted to say hi to Natalie too. Hey, Natalie. I haven't met you yet, like actually looking at each other.
Good to meet you.
Miriam, hello. We have messaged back and forth a little bit, and you and I are doing something this Saturday. By the way, everybody, I'm Reese. My channel is called Relatable Reese. And I feel particularly close to you, even though we don't know each other. I don't want to take up all the time here, but I've only been out of Scientology 1 year. And I was born and raised, so 38 years. And your episode was the very first one I ever watched.
Wow.
And it took me years to watch that show. I was begged to watch it, and I refused. And I finally did it. And it took a lot of convincing myself to do it. And it was you that I connected with, and I could not stop crying. It took days. I couldn't stop crying. And I just want you to know, I love your face. I love everything about you, because I really, it's just, I can't go back. You're the first person. Aaron wasn't even first. It was you.
That's amazing.
I reached out to Aaron after I watched you, but I just want you to know I feel connected to you, and I support you. And I just think you're so cute and beaming, and I wish I could fly there and just squeeze you, because I like to squeeze. Not in a creepy way.
I would welcome some squeezes. No, it's so amazing. Reese, I've been so excited to meet with you and chat with you. And yeah, we will be catching up soon. When I first saw you the first time you were on Aaron's channel, I was blown away by your story. I was emotionally affected by it. And I don't know if it's particularly because we have something in common where we, had parental abuse quite significantly. And there is something about that where, the person who's supposed to be the hero in your story, who's really supposed to, protect you from harm, is the one that's harming you. And there's a kind of a mental grappling that goes along with that, and a struggle, and something that you do, that's ongoing too, to continue to understand, what happened, and and look after yourself, and learn to protect yourself. So yeah, but I can't wait. I cannot wait for us to chat some more. Yeah, and also
agree.
Zach. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No, I
And
think
Zach,
that's
wanted
why
to
we
say as
resonate
well-
with each other. I love you, gal. That's all. I just want to say I really support you. Thank you for what you said.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Reese. And Zach also wanted to say we're going to be chatting soon, so we'll have a little private catch up first, and maybe because yeah, you can make sure that I'm like legit, and I'm not just saying crazy shit, basically.
Well, you're probably going to say crazy things, but it's going to be well vetted by other people who said crazy things before too. So it's all
Okay,
right.
great. I love that. Yeah.
Sterling Beefcake Tompkins, it's your turn.
Why do I have to follow Reese? That was so good. How could I even compare? It's not fair. Look, I had the pleasure of meeting Miriam this year. Thank you, Mike Brown, for making that hookup. And I've spent quite a bit of time on the phone with you, Miriam. You know how I feel about you. I think you're an amazing person. You have an amazing mind. You're wonderful. You deserve justice. And I really am hoping that comes very, very soon. I'm also excited to do content with you very, very soon. We're going to be talking about 1984 and the correlation between that and Scientology. And I'm so looking forward to that. But other than that, you are a wonderful person. And I'm just bringing the community together like this, and everyone doing Poe on the Go, Aaron, Mike Brown, Chad, who I only found out about yesterday. It's wonderful that this is being done, and I really hope it does make a change and help get you what you need to finally get justice. And you're a wonderful person. I love you. So yeah.
That's amazing. Sterling's been one of my sort of behind the scenes champions, as Mike Brown has been as well, and also Jamie, just to name a few, Christy Gordon, a whole bunch of people. And that's what's helped me get through this time of, I went through January was a full month of just a lot of fear. And so to be able to talk to people through that, to have that support has been, and there are people who understand what the system is that I'm talking about. And that's been really, really helpful. I want to thank you, Sterling, for that. Yeah.
You're so welcome.
Mr. Mustard.
Oh, geez, man. God, that name. Got to live up to it. Well, first of all, I just want to say hello, everybody. I watch all of you. I watch Natalie. I watch Reese. I watch Zach. Dylan, I've seen your interviews. Marissa, I'm getting familiar with. So I'm just, thank you for doing what you do. And it's just so nice to kind of be looking at all of you and talking to you, right? I would like to, before I talk about Miriam, who I adore, I would like to just thank Aaron for hosting this. The fact that I'm even here contributing to this is mind-blowing to me. Aaron talked me out of the shadows in November, which I'm grateful to him for, even though it's painful sometimes. And I was just going to dip in and dip out. And then, I don't know if Mike Brown introduced us, Miriam, or if you reach out to me around the time Mike Brown introduced us, but we got to talking as a result of Aaron. And when I heard your story, I don't know. It just created a shift in me where I went, I'm going to keep going. At least, I don't want to walk away from this. What I lived through was a living hell in terms of being born into the baby nursery in downtown Los Angeles and growing up in the Melrose Building and the Fountain Building. It almost killed me. It's killed several of my friends, didn't survive the Melrose Building. Those suicides are still going on. And when I met you and you were still alive, and I felt like you'd been through something worse than me, I just felt so embarrassed by what I'd been through. I don't feel like I met people that had been through worse than me that were doing very well, or even as bad as me. And I just didn't want to be reminded of it. And when I met you and I saw how radiant and kind of alive. I mean, you're a mom and you're successful at your work and in business, and like you're not just you're not just alive, you're living in a radiant and beautiful and astonishing way. I've harassed your children on WhatsApp calls. I call them the convicts. The convicts, Nick and Kiara. So yeah, you're just an inspiration to me, and it's kept me kind of going. And I've talked more and more to the people involved that I've been watching for a long, long time. And it's been I found catharsis in seeing all of you and knowing all of you. So thank you, Miriam, for being who you are.
Something that I've really learned through this sort of recent journey and our conversations, Jamie, and also seeing you in the lives that you've done. First, it was with Aaron, and then it was with Andrew Gold, and that second conversation. I mean, I was blown away by the story, that you told on Aaron's channel. But the Andrew Gold one, there was a couple of things that you said that really struck me as so truthful. There's something about truth that it cuts to the bone. It's like, I don't know, there's an impact that it has. And that was, when you spoke particularly about the narcissism of your mother, and because I had met your mother back when I was a kid, when I was inside that organization, and I knew what you were saying was true. The way that you described her were the things that I saw in this person. And there's something about, as I said, there's something about truth that is just inescapable. You cannot hide from it. So when I saw you saying things, and that was just one of the things that you said that struck me, but there was a number of things that struck me, and I thought, okay, well, this person is someone that tells the truth, and that's a person that I'm going to trust. And that's really what I've learned, the importance of telling truth. You're going to cut through anything. And I hope that that's what I continue to do. Yeah. Well, that's what I will be continuing to do, but I recognize the importance of it. Yeah.
I do. I mean, one thing that you and Aaron have in common, I'll just say this, is like sometimes you and Aaron will say something or I'll do something and I'll go, what are they doing? That makes no sense. And I don't believe it. And then a month later, I'm like, oh my God, they saw it when I didn't see it, And so I just, I think that you're spot on in terms of, I heard you earlier, I was backstage, when you were talking about Australian Santa Claus, and, we're partly here because of him. I hate to say it, but, the DSR would have sailed right through. Aaron wanted to approve it. Claire said she would approve it. But because you got locked into this thing with, Papa Smurf, Australian Papa Smurf, or Santa Claus, whatever you want to call him, it just stood there on and on and on. And I didn't really quite see it. Like took me a minute to see it, but I've gotten there. I know what that is. It's not about helping people. It's about it's about the prestige that you get. I think you've even said this to me, from looking like you're helping people. Okay? And there's no way, I'm just going to say this for the record because we're on here. First of all, go subscribe to Miriam Francis. Please go to her channel. We want to get her over 10,000 subs, and she's over 4,000. We want to get her over 10,000 in the next week. Please, she's got a lot to say. Please sub to Miriam Francis. Hopefully Aaron can show her her channel. But I didn't, I was protecting him in the beginning and saying, oh, we're all a community. Let's not do that. But what I've seen, especially with the blog, which I was brought into, only because I'm trying to help people. I'm not, making gajillions of dollars off. Nobody's here making that much money on YouTube other than,
Stop it. That's the only reason you do anything on YouTube. You liar.
Exactly. I don't even have a channel. But, we're here because I said to you, if you get into a battle with him, he's going to stop your treatment. I saw it coming. Okay. And that's what he did. And this thing, and then I got pulled into it like this wasn't mainstream or all the bullshit people have been saying about, the FDA or whatever the fuck. I mean, I'm tired of it, and anyone can ask me about it anytime they want. But I've come to, you're right. There is somebody in here that is, the only fair game I've received so far is from them. And that's sad. Right. But, you're right. There's somebody that's in this community that does not have the best interest of the people in mind. And I know that's 100% true. I'm done.
What is Miriam's channel? I can't find it searching at Miriam Francis or Miriam Francis.
It's at Against the Dark Arts. And the full name is Rage Against the Dark Arts. But you just have to look up, the handle is at Against the Dark Arts.
Can I just say one thing, just for the record, because I just always feel like I can never get it out, and then I'm done. The idea that the former CEO of OSA is in a charity helping people is a disgusting travesty. And he needs to go to his victims, and his victims need to accept him and accept his restitution. And until that happens, he needs to be away from any and all victims, period. Whistleblowing is an event. It's not a career. This guy's made a career out of it. He's accused me of making money. So I'm going to respond to that right now as I endorse you. Okay. This guy wrote a book. This guy made a salary. I mean, Aaron doesn't want people to know this maybe, but Aaron paid him to be on the show when he didn't get paid in the beginning. A lot of money, tens of thousands of dollars. Okay. And then he got a salary on that show. He sold a lot of books, and he's become a celebrity off of our stories, off of not mine, because I've been hiding, but off of the victim stories. And it's absolutely abhorrent. And here we are because he retaliated you by doxing you with that stupid blog. And then, and then not all he had to do was sail the treatment through and say, sorry, Miriam, let's chat. Like the amount of times that, anyway, you know where my heart is. You inspire me every single day. You're one of the strongest, most inspirational human beings I've ever met. And I thank you. And I feel honored to be someone that's in your life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jamie. I wanted to say a few things on that. First of all, in terms of the fair game, I was never fair gamed by Scientology. After I did the aftermath, they never fair gamed me. And they included statements to production in admitting that they knew about the abuse that I had experienced. They never fair gamed me. The only fair game experience that I have had has been recently from Mike Rinder. Mike Rinder is the only person who has fair gamed me. Okay, so that is the insanity of it. Mike Rinder has been able to pave a way for himself when in the last 15 years, and others have done this for him in whitewashing his history, whitewashing his crimes, and fair gaming any critics that he has had. And now I am one of them. The only fair gaming that I've experienced is just recently, which was done by Mike Rinder. Now, when we want to talk about retaliation, so the retaliation that I experienced, I believed it to be happening in relation to me seeking, the approval of these funds with the Aftermath Foundation. I believe that Mike Rinder was retaliating against me behind the scenes in preventing me from getting this treatment or obtaining the funds for this treatment. And what I saw publicly when he put my my LAPD police report online was evidence of that, because he must have been doing something privately to get to a point to where he did that publicly, and then that was okay. No one in the Aftermath Foundation has said anything about that being wrong, and it's a criminal act, and that caused me to suffer greatly, psychologically and emotionally.
The good news is, Miriam, this is 1,000 times bigger because of what he did. And Aaron's hosting this. It's 1,000 times bigger, and you're going to go get the treatment, come back and talk about it. And so many more people are going to be helped because in his ridiculousness, he made this thing way more bigger and way more widespread than it should be. And as Steve Hassan says, living well is the best revenge.
Yeah.
Go, Aaron.
We're due for a shift change, but we still haven't had a chance to speak yet with Mr. Dylan Gill down there and Miss Marisa Sigmund, Marisa down there. So let's do that because we don't want to leave anyone out. How's it going there, Dylan?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks for having me here, and I don't even know how to follow that up, to be honest with you. Other than I respect Miriam's healing journey, and I respect her right to define her healing journey. And I will defend that with my life. So that's why I'm here. I loved meeting your brother. Your brother and I hung out a bit, and he is such a sweet soul, which I'm sure you guys cut from the same cloth. So I just appreciate being here and being able to hold space for you guys. And yeah, I love you guys. So that's it. I'm Dylan.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dylan. I appreciate that so much.
Hi, Marisa.
Hi, Aaron. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have my mic on. It's just there's like a delay or something. So it's nice seeing all of you. And Aaron, I love how you say my name, Marisa. But that is the way you say it, so that's awesome. And Jamie, I just want to say thank you, because the way you describe is just spot on. When I listen to your videos and how you describe what's been happening with us and what you want, unfortunately, we have kind of been used as stage props by people. And I'm kind of like yourself. I don't like using labels. I say all the time, I hate saying never ends. I hate saying second. It just feels weird to me, but like that's what everyone knows. So I feel like I'm stuck by it. But you know, I do remember watching Miriam for the very first time on the after show years ago. Her, I met her twice. As you all know, she's like a little world traveler. But Miriam, your story really touched me, and I just know I've seen you kind of grow and become stronger, and you really are like a force. You're like a powerhouse, like a force to be reckoned with. I would not be on your bad side. That's all I know. But that's
Yeah.
you know, I mean that in a good way. The things that you are doing are kind of helping all of us in the long run. And the truth is, the fight against Scientology is not so that people like, I don't know, Mike Render or whoever it is can continue believing in L. Ron Hubbard, not David Miscavige, but L. Ron Hubbard, which that's kind of been a large part of what's been going on, unfortunately. The fight against Scientology is where people don't have a say, like minors and underage children. And I myself know I was born into Scientology. My parents discovered it in 1975. I was born in 78. So, and they were, as you've described before, Sterling, you know, it was a public Scientology, and but my parents were like fanatical Scientologists. Like, oh my God, it was like touch a like child Dianetics, everything, like my whole life. So I would go to school and live like a normal upbringing, and then I would come home and it was nothing but like L. Ron Hubbard and overt and, you know, going to the org and sec checks and all the horrible stuff. And it's indescribable the torment that that can do to a child's mind. So Miriam, I mean, I can only imagine like what you have endured, and I will do anything to support you. And I just love what you're leading. You know, you're a warrior and you're a very brave woman, and I respect that. You're a true inspiration. So I am here to help your cause, and to help all of you if anyone ever needed.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate your strong voice. You and I spoke early on in, you know, after the my episode had aired, or the season had aired that I was in of the Aftermath, and you know, I think you recognize that fighter spirit in one another. And that was definitely what I recognized in you early on. And so I think it's amazing. You also have your YouTube channel that you've been doing for a little while, and I've been watching your videos, and it's so great to have your voice here in this space too. It's amazing.
Awesome, guys. Poe, I hope you're ready to help me with this shift change, because I'm not sure I know how to do it.
Miriam?
We have, I think, just one more shift change to go here. Thank you
Bye,
all.
Miriam.
Great to see you all.
So
Great to see you, Miriam. Bye.
Bye.
Love support.
And just while we're doing this little shift change here, guys, this is Miriam's YouTube channel. I got to say, I kind of love that title.
Excellent. I'm going to start backing everybody out except for Aaron, Miriam, and myself. And we're going to start bringing in the next batch.
So the name of my YouTube channel is kind of a bit of a combination between Defense Against the Dark Arts from Harry Potter, which I loved. I was reading the Harry Potter books when I was a teenager inside the organization. And, you know, there's so many, you know, analogies that you can be made in Harry Potter terms. It's a really fantastic kind of book to kind of juxtapose it and the story of it. And also, you know, Rage Against the Machine, which a particular song, Rage Against the Machine, I remember that was just an anthem when I was like between 16, 17 years old, when I was just, you know, all I wanted to do was leave this organization. And when that would come on the radio, because K-Rock used to play it, and you just like blare it from your dorm, It was Killing in the Name of, and I didn't really understand the lyrics, but it definitely spoke to what I was experiencing. Yeah.
And well, it's a great name for a channel. I absolutely love it. All right, who's the next shift we got here, Poe?
Oh no,
what are we,
you know who
what are
it
we
is.
working with?
Oh no!
Let me-
no, Nora.
Let me turn the dial here for the right station.
Laura.
There's a
Hide your
strong
kids.
gale coming in.
It's crazy, Laura. This is the first time. Hey, Liz. This is the first time that we've been on the screen together. But Laura and I have known each other for quite a long time. She's also a little baby cadet, like I was too. And you know, we sort of, there was like a fork in the road, and she had a different, you know, went to a different location than I, which was at the Inn Ranch. But wow, Laura is incredible. The journey that you've had, you know, just the way that you're speaking out, it's so just brave. It's just really brave. You're out there. I love watching what you're doing. It's incredible. It just is amazing. Yeah.
Okay, well, now that I'm already talking to you directly, I am the same for you, Miriam. There were so many, like, I'm sure you had, oh, I should be sharing this to my audience. No? Oh, well, too late.
No, you can't. We're already maxed out.
It says I can do it, but I'm not going to do it.
Then
Since
do
Aaron's
it.
the boss, then Aaron's the boss.
Do it.
Aaron's
Do
the
it.
boss. So, but Miriam, we've gone through ups and downs emotionally, just even experiencing how we should be talking about this, like even on the live YouTubes and what kids. And I know that we had a message, you know, conversation where I sort of, I was rejecting everybody. I was like, fuck everybody. I'm going to do it my way because nothing else has helped. Like but only little things have helped here and there. But like, I'm just going to make this short. When even though we had our disagreements on some ways of like how we should be talking about the cadets that aren't speaking out and the people, the point is like in the end of this was all part of our growing thing and like of saying things and feeling ways that were uncomfortable. And also on top of that, you having somebody who you're supposed to be thinking is going to be supporting and helping you and giving you information that has the information. And we all know that. And they weren't. And for me to see that and to step back and think for everybody, like we're doing this, Miriam, not just for me and you, but because we're the only ones out of the little cadets here that are speaking out, like that we're at the cadet org. So it didn't matter if you disagreed with me or I disagreed with you or in any situations, my love and support for you has always been there. And then to find all of this out, it just makes it even more open and more stronger for other cadets that have gone through the same thing, that are going through the same thing, wondering, why can't I get information about certain things, about my own personal family and abuse? And when you have, so it's so amazing, Miriam, really to know more things than people on this whole board do about you. Like, just with your own personal friendships and everything, the struggle and the manipulation on all levels, and to see you being a child and cadet, to have this strength, it gives me more power to wonder why the fuck my own fucking father isn't looking at me when I'm yelling his name out, when your own father destroyed the crap out of your future life. So it gives me more courage and strength to be like, even if my father came out or is ignoring me, it is unacceptable that people and parents in the Sea Org get away with this shit all the fucking time. And then you have people that are supposed to be part of SPTV community and like holding back half truths and lies that would literally open the fucking gate on this so we could stop suffering. So when I go out there, and yes, my father doesn't look at me and do all this, what makes me more angry is that they hide somebody like your father or people like our parents that have done shit that don't give a fucking ounce, and they can just go get auditing or a sec check to get rid of their fucking crimes. So you are amazing. I'm so proud of you. And
Laura,
you
I
give me
think
more courage and strength every time I go out and protest.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what is like just sort of really resonating is like what you said about when someone has the power to help somebody else, they can alleviate someone else's suffering. Why not do it? Isn't that what we're all about? To alleviate the suffering of others, and most importantly, the people who experience that suffering as children who are still carrying that burden today. If there is any opportunity to do that, then we must do it, even if it's uncomfortable. And I really appreciate your voice and your strength. And I know it kind of sounds like cliche words, but when you're out there and you're yelling out in front of, the buildings that I grew up in and around, my heart soars and I feel so empowered by your bravery. I think it's amazing.
That's why we do it. I don't just do it for my family and my dad. This is literally hell for all of us. Like even the people that have never been in, so to speak. Like it's been hell. It's been fucking hell. And we're never going to forget about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Love
Laura.
you so much. And you know what, guys, everybody remember, donate to Miriam's PayPal directly. Go to her PayPal, donate. I want Miriam to have way too much money. I want that to be a problem. Let it be the fucking one problem she has, okay?
Thank you.
Liz, Gail, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm well. How's everybody here?
Good.
Going well.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm really honored to be here too. Miriam, I think our journey started, our paths crossed at the Aftermath show, and we both shared on the same season close to each other and both kind of went through the nerve wrack of filming and then not knowing what they were going to do and then fallout from that. And so I can only say the same as Lara, that watching all that time, you've just been fighting and persisting and keeping up with it for all the children. So I'm really happy to be here and support you.
Thank you so much, Liz. And I want to highlight, Liz created an incredible list of children who have spoken out, children who, grew up, then spoke out, who were in Scientology, and also those who did not make it. The list was shown on the weekend of protesting that was taken outside of the front of Celebrity Center and laid out by a number of the people here. Actually, everyone here was there. I was not. I was in Australia. I still am, but incredible, you guys.
Your name was on it.
You were there. You were there. I was thinking of you. I read your name and I was like, Miriam.
Yeah.
You know what was amazing, and Laura spoke about this in her speech, is like when you see the names, it does something to you. It does something to you because it's truth, and and all these memories flash back of their faces, and you realize, yeah, it just reminds you, okay, I'm on the right path here. I must be doing the right thing to. So I wanted to say with Liz has a website now with these lists and the list, and these names are adding up. And please go and have a look at it. What's the name of that website, Liz?
The easiest way to get there is just liz-gale.com will take you to where you need to be to submit a name. Since I went on with you, Erin, I think I've had 60 or 70 submissions on there. I haven't vetted them all or added them, but especially if we can get this going in Mexico, overseas, more in Australia, I think the list will grow exponentially. I'm not pleased that it's growing. I don't want there to be enough names for it to grow anymore, but collecting them, I think, is very powerful. So thank you for mentioning that. If you want to be on the list, if you fit the criteria, go to the website and let me know.
Hello, hot dog Nora, or what is it? Uh-oh, hot dog. Oh no, Nora. Oh no, Nora. Uh-oh, hot dog.
Uh-oh, hot dog.
Uh-oh, hot dog.
Hey, hot dog.
I'm literally in a car, guys, just being driven around like a princess right now. So, but listen, I wasn't gonna miss being here for Miriam, no matter where I am. So, I find, I mean, I've been watching. I've said it time and time again, and I was there as an associate producer during your episode, Miriam, and being backstage, as it were, watching your story kind of unfold. It was honestly some of the hardest days that we had there on the show, just to be like completely frank with you, because it was so unbelievably devastating. And for me to not be able to just like go and turn into a real life, like vengeance, punisher type person and seek justice for you at that moment was really difficult, because it's just, I can't fathom a world where anyone could not want you. First of all, you're amazing and beautiful and kind and funny and smart and all of those things. But just that any child who endured that and survived to tell the tale, that we would not all be marching in every street available to get justice for you, doesn't make any sense to me. And the very minimum that I can do is what we're doing right now, as Laura said. And I said it earlier on the live that I did with Liz. You know, your PayPal is there, and I really want you to get this treatment because, as I've said many times, therapy is important. All forms of therapy, whether you're doing this amazing new breakthrough therapy, or you're seeing a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a licensed therapist, you're meditating, you're journaling, whatever, all of these things are necessary for any of us who have endured this trauma to begin to address it and overcome it. And it is, you're such a miracle, like honestly, and your kids are so lucky to have you as a mom to pave the way for them in a truly, truly sane and safe way that wasn't there for you. So I love you. And I'm just so happy to lend like a tiny bit of assistance to you in any way that I can right now.
Thank you so much, Nora. And I've been really appreciating the support that you've given me in a public way. I felt like you've been a defender of me, a defender of, you know, the truth, really. Yeah, I just appreciate that so much. Yeah, thank you. And thank you for bringing your humor. Yeah, you make me laugh so much. It's so great. And your writing is amazing as well. So I look forward to see more of that as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
How you doing, literally, Serge?
What up?
You have the best audio of everyone. I don't know what your trick is.
I got a few tricks up my sleeve. Well, shout out to, yes, exactly.
I was gonna say Michael.
Well, Miriam, you and I are two little tiny drops in a bucket. We are in a bucket of our own because we are children that were essayed inside Scientology hotels and commercial buildings. We are children that, unfortunately, are very few of us that have survived to tell and be able to come up front and focus our questions now, adult in adult bodies that we are. And you're asking all the right questions. They are answers to our questions. Unfortunately for us, we didn't make up what they did to us. They were doing it. They were knowing it. They were video recording it. They were transcribing it. And with what type of straight face can they sit here decades later with selective amnesia?
Mm-hmm.
It's time, place, form, and event that they were teaching in those hotels to be transparent. In what world are no Scientology parents anywhere to be found writing time, place, form, and event of the aggravated child abuse that they were all participating in? It wasn't just your parents. It was my parents. It was Liz's parents. It was Aaron's parents. It was Liz Ferris's parents. It was Christy's parents. It was all parents. There is not a set of parents that weren't complicit, that weren't in on this adult game that we were all exposed to. And it sucks. It sucks to be us, but it doesn't suck to be on the flip side and to be supported and to be believed and to be acknowledged for this plight, because it isn't even about us. I've said it time and time again. If there were no children being abused anymore, there would be nothing else to speak about. So thank you for bringing this to the forefront, and I hope you get answers. And I will continue fighting until you get answers.
Thank you, Serge. Thank you so much. I was listening to, prior to arriving here for this live, I was listening to your chat with Marilyn Honig. What is it? What does she do? What's the name of it again? Colts.
Yeah, Coffee and Colts.
Yeah, Coffee and Colts. Is it Coffee and Colts?
Coffee, crafts, and Colts.
There you go. I knew there was crafts in there. Okay, Coffee, crafts, and Colts. Okay, everyone, please, if you get a chance, jump on there and watch that one, because that was amazing. The things that you said in there were so on point. There's so much truth, so many things to think about and consider, the impacts. Yeah, absolutely. So I really encourage everyone to listen to that. I'm hoping to do a chat with Serge at some point soon. We've got something coming up, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper into, what are the impacts. I want to talk about the experiences that we had, but then also, as Serge pointed out, to broaden that out to what the kids are still experiencing. I mean, one of the amazing things that you pointed out in that live was the fact that all these children are going to Scientology approved doctors. Like, so where is the mandatory reporting? The children are never going to get that. They're never the mandatory reporting, which is
mandated,
afforded to so yeah, there you go. Mandated reporting that's afforded to every other child in the United States is not being afforded to children in cults, particularly in Scientology, where the same doctors are used over and over to, that are never going to raise a flag. They're never going to report abuse. And so these children are not going to get the protection that they need. So Serge has been a longtime advocate for the children, and he continues to do so, and is, so definitely looking forward to those conversations. Yeah.
That's awesome. How you doing down there, Liz Francis? Wait, Liz Ferris. Jesus.
See, I like the Francis. I feel like
as it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, this feels like it's wrong, but I'm just going to go with
all
it.
Over again.
I'm just going
marriage. We'll just trade up. It's okay. Well, Miriam, I'm on here to do whatever it is that you need. Realistically, my name's Liz. I grew up at Pack Base, and no matter what, Miriam, I have your back. If you ever need a place to stay in the U.S. or if you ever need anything, you tell me, and I will figure it out, because that's what friends and family do.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you for including me in your family, Liz. I really appreciate it.
Always.
It means a lot.
Literally, Michael. How you doing down there?
I am doing well. Hello, everyone. And, Miriam, we haven't had a chance to really visit or hang out, talk, but, everything here from all these guys on the chat. It's just, to see the love and support. You guys have a family. You guys have this incredible family with each other, and you get to hold each other's hands. It's like, I've got to meet each and every one person almost on this live here, and all the ones that were previous. And it's just like, for me, I, never was in the cult myself. I'm Serge's husband. And it's just to see the disgrace behind the scenes and to see the abuse behind the scenes from not just one of you, but from all of you. You've all gone through it, and it's just horrifying. And so it's just, the list when we were out there and seeing that name of the people, and I can't believe how much it's grown, but I'm not surprised that it's growing, and it's going to continue to grow, because there's so many children, or so many, second gens, third gens that are out there, fourth gens that didn't have a voice. We're afraid to have a voice. And what you guys are doing right now is you guys are showing that you guys have a voice. You get to stand up for yourself. You get to start to build a foundation underneath your own feet. That is your foundation and no one else's. And you have a family all around you, and you have people that you can reach out to at any moment. I mean, it's so beautiful just to see the expansion of what's been going on since I've met Serge. I knew of Scientology. I walked in there one day. I took their test. I just got the feeling like this was no good. And I turned around and I walked out. And it's just, and it was kind of like, and it's shocking for me to see how many people today still don't know much about Scientology and what's going on behind the closed doors. You know, it's daily that we start talking about it with new people or our friends, and they're like, what? Scientology? What? They did what? No, you know, and it's just like, it's frightening to see what a masquerade they put on for the rest of the world. And so, and, you know, I'm going to say it, you know, this Mike Render guy, you know, Aaron, we were down in Clearwater. Aaron was introducing Serge to Mike for the first time. And he was just, once again, it's like I walked into Scientology, I walked out. I walked in to see, you know, meet with Mike, and Mike, his personality, it wasn't there. It was such a disgrace for me. He was more concerned about his damn bobblehead than he was about meeting Serge. He never once said really hi to me. And then when we were on the aftermath, prior to that, when Serge was there, I saw him and I kept seeing Leah bouncing around trying to back him up because it sounded like he was more, protecting Scientology than he was there for the advocacy of the kids, everyone that's been abused and all that. And it was just horrifying to see. It was ridiculous to see, and it's funny because I always, I could like really dive into like their relationship, Leah and Mike's, and it just kills me. And I'm just being a good person right now and I'm here to support you. You know that you've got these beautiful people, Laura, Liz, Nora, Christy, Liz again. And it's just like what I've seen. And Mr. Aaron, thank you so much the other day. It was such a surprise to see your live about Serge. I mean, it was just, you were like so spot on. It was just like so intense. So it's like, we're all here to support each other. I'm here to support all of you guys. It's, all of you. It's so important that we just hold hands together and walk through this because it's baby steps and we're going to be, it's going to happen. I see it. It's slow. It's going to happen. When I first met Serge and I started hearing what was going on, what he went through. And then I met Laura and, adorable, my little Laura there, she's so special. And just like, I will never forget the moment she broke out into a cappella here with one of her songs and it just stole my heart, and then I met Christy and then Liz and then everybody else. It's just like, it's like so impactful. And it's even like, it was even like at the protest, it's like when everybody was, at the very end where they were grabbing the mic and saying something, I had to, it was like, it wasn't even me. It was an out of body experience that I had, kind of like, I had to grab the mic and just the support and love of everybody around you. You've got so many people here supporting you. And the fact that the aftermath did exactly what we expect them to do. You know what I mean? It's just, Mike needs to step down. He needs to do a reality check and, really take a back step, a huge back step.
Real quick, guys,
so-
I'm going to have to jump, but I'm going to bring Poe and Mike Brown in to help just, end things appropriately. But I just wanted to say, Miriam, you have been advocating for yourself without really support for years and years and years. And you've been unbelievably successful doing it. And I just think it's high time you had a community to support you and that the community really came out and expressed that support for you unequivocally. And, when we started the Aftermath Foundation, one of the reasons is that so people wouldn't have to do fundraisers for themselves. And here we are so many years later, doing a fundraiser for an individual. And I can tell you when the new foundation launches, people won't have to do fundraisers. People, former Scientologists, former Sea Org members, kids that grew up in Scientology won't have to be back doing fundraisers because the help that you're seeking is help that will be paid for by anybody who wants it. It's not anyone's job to decide what kind of help someone's allowed to receive. The funds that are donated are in the custody of the foundation, but belong to the people who donated. And if someone wants help and the funds are there, the person gets that help. So, when it's ready to be announced, it will be announced. But I've seen that question in the chat, and I just wanted to say that. I'm going to bounce just so that there's 2 slots. Alicia, were you in the first draft?
No, I just got in.
No,
I just.
Oh.
I can
Okay, good.
bounce out. I'm more than happy
Okay.
to. I love you, Miriam.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Liz.
Me and Liz will bounce,
Liz.
and Poe and Mike will come back in. I'll see everyone tomorrow, guys.
Bye, Aaron.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much, Aaron.
Yeah, Miriam, it was like, we're here to support you, and what's happened with you and your story is just like it's shocking, but it's not shocking because I see it through all the kids. This has been a consistent behavior of them and their policy. So I just want to let you know that I am so proud to be here amongst such beautiful, beautiful people supporting you and being part of this beautiful family. And just know anytime anyone needs to have a conversation or whatever, I'm always here, and I'm here to hold hands and just, go forward with all of it. And so, welcome. I'm happy we're here supporting.
Thank you so much, Michael. I really appreciate that. It's amazing. And I wanted to voice or echo something that Serge said is like we looked around when we were growing up looking for the adults of someone was supposed to protect us and we didn't have it. And now what Serge was saying earlier when I was listening to his live is that, we are the adults. We're the adults in adult bodies. And we have come into that. And we recognize that there are things that we never had, and we really want to be that for other people. And that's really important. I appreciate you, in your support of Serge and listening to the stories and, highlighting our stories as well and being involved. And it's amazing. It was so cool to see you. I watched all the lives from the protests and, saw you participate in that. And it was really, really cool. Love it.
Well, you take care. You just, we're here for you, and that's why we're all here today. And it's so beautiful I was, breaking out in tears and, just listening to everybody, and it's just so special. So I'm happy that we're here together. And thank you.
Thank you so
Excellent.
much. Yeah.
Alicia, how are you doing tonight, hon?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you so much, Poe, for putting this together. This is like the sweetest thing. And thank you for advocating and being such a kind human. We all appreciate you. Miriam, there were so many people that wanted to be on that they literally had to redo the stream to try to facilitate. And there's still people that I think didn't get to make it in. We were just sitting in the back like, it's cool, we'll listen. If there's no time, if there's no room, it's fine. We are all here because we love you, we support you. And there's no way in hell that we're letting one of our own struggle by themselves.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
folks, make sure you
awesome.
throw
Thank you so much.
thanks out there to Aaron for this, because without him, we wouldn't have been able to get everyone on here like this.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, and he's doing a lot to help with the SPTV family. So, Miriam, do you see you got nothing but love and support here, hon? Absolutely.
Thank you. I wanted to just say, to add on to that beautiful message there, thank you. Degraded Daughter, please check Alicia out. And I wanted to say as well, what I understand of your story is that you were involved in, you were forced into kind of like an adult position at a very young age, but I think that you really connected to and loved caring for babies and children. I've seen that in the photos that you've shared with us and also in your story. And there's this real compassion that you've had. And I see that in you, in your involvement here. And I just really feel that, nurturing sense from you. And it's really beautiful. And I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. I'm glad that it comes across. I'm trying not to be an asshole too much. I'm holding back all that a little bit. But we all were kids in a weird circumstance, and we did the best we could. But it wasn't what we should have had.
Absolutely. And Christy, can you introduce yourself to everybody here? And
oh Lord, I hope I can speak. I'm having a moment here. I have been having a moment. All of this is
you're coming in a little low. Maybe if you get a little closer to the mic.
Is that good?
A little more uptone, Christy.
Hello.
There it is.
I'm gonna hold it.
There you
Y'all,
go.
this is like such a moment for me. I'm trying not to cry. I'm a crier. So first of all, this is incredible. And how? Sorry.
You're among friends, hon. Let it out.
I know, but
Then she can't talk.
how long have we been waiting for something like this, for this moment, for this community? And Miriam, who knew that you were going to be this catalyst for us? It's just, everything's falling into place. Laura, Serge, Michael, Alicia, Mike Brown, Poe, Liz Ferris, like, I don't even know how to figure the chemistry, or if we had planned this, all these puzzle pieces coming together at just this time, all the people that have been on before us, like everyone showing up at just the right time. People who weren't ready before, Jamie Mustard, are now here. Like, we've all arrived, and I just feel like it's this perfect storm of love and heart and courage, Miriam. And anyways, that's all I have to say about that. But I have been fighting for this for a long time, and it's been important to me for a long time. And it's almost painful to watch it happening. But anyway, I love you, all of you, and Miriam.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
We love you, Christine.
Oh my
You've
goodness.
been
Okay.
so much an integral
I'm gonna
part
get
of
my TRs
all
in.
of our recovery
Get your
journeys. So
TRs in.
Yeah,
I
Christy
got
is
my
like
TRs
the
in.
most amazing human. I don't know if people that maybe aren't on the other side of it know, but she's kind of like the safety blanket when you kind of come out. She kind of like reaches out and is like, "Hey, are you good? Do you need anything? Do you know who to
Yeah.
talk to
Blanket.
you? Do you
No.
need this? Do you need that?" And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
there's people that care about this," because some of us don't know until you're out speaking.
Yeah,
and-
absolutely.
Yeah, I think a lot of people call her mama. You know, they're just like their mother. She's
She
a
doesn't
mother.
like it though. She doesn't like to be the mom.
I know,
I called her that.
I know that, but I could say it here for her. But it's like, it's so beautiful because she, you know, she does embrace all of everybody, and just is so sweet. It's so beautiful, Christy.
Maybe the cool
So
big
beautiful.
sister. She would like that better. Like, are you the cool aunt? Cool big
See, and I
sister?
think of her more like a weighted blanket. It's like that hug in a moment, where
Right,
it's
a
like the
thunder
instant
blanket
it lays on you,
or a
you're
dog.
like,
Uh-huh.
oh.
Yeah,
From the
and
old
Christy's also been
blanket.
there when there's been disagreements in between. Christy was there when me and Miriam were having little message problems. I was like, Christy, I love your guys' thing. I don't know what I'm feeling right now. Like somebody having a problem with the way that I'm finally speaking. And I was just like, no. And I was just like, well, I love them. So separate it. Christy has always been somebody that I've had other friends major issues with. They've done really bad things. And I've always known if I can speak about it to anybody, a mothering or a side where I'm like, hey, I'm not being crazy, right? Because she can feel a view on all sides. And even if I disagree with her view on other sides, she's still somebody I know that I can go to with a personal problem that's an issue with the Scientology thing, and she can represent and hear all of the sides. And she doesn't even have, it's just you're like Miriam and Christy and Miriam, when you guys did
you're
your
the
children.
adult in the room.
Yeah, well, kind of. There's something about the like solidity of somebody being a mothering figure that isn't going to choose a side, because you will see, you always go to the other. You will agree with somebody, but you also have so much nurturing for the other side that at times I could be like resenting or hating. So it's really amazing. And we know you're very, into quiet and, so to speak, like you're very humble. And I just know that knowing you helped me clarify a lot of things with Miriam and gave me so much more strength to hear everything about Miriam's story through so many different other people's perspectives, and also people off the record that are watching right now, and they just are also healing themselves, going, holy crap, like we have there is help. This is unbelievable. Like I don't know where your pivot point was, Miriam, but there was one, and I felt there was something that happened, or you had, I don't know if it was Jamie Muster or what it was, but I saw a pivotal point where you were like, okay, my emotions are right here, and here's what I'm fucking trying to say. Even as like an investigator, you were being like, this is not okay. And I just couldn't believe I was seeing that side from you. And I just love it. And it's with you, and it's you, and it's so strong. And I'm always going to be there to support that, because there's no bad that can come out of that strength.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Christy, do you have
absolutely.
something to say? Christy,
Can
do you have
I?
something? Okay.
Go.
Okay,
ahead,
let
Mary.
me just jump in there. So yeah, so Laura and I had a disagreement because let me just clarify, because at the time Laura had sort of burst onto the, coming into the scene and was naming names of people that we'd, kids that we'd grown up with. My instinct was to protect those kids, and Laura's perspective was, she didn't want anyone to tell her how she could say things. And I really understand and appreciate that. I think I understand it more now, than I did then. I just had my immediate reaction.
And also the perspective of not us as kids knowing we didn't fucking have a choice. So I'm like, they don't have a choice. They don't, like, we're giving them that outside choice that they never had. As Serge knows, like, we all knew we never even were able to have the choice and think it was okay to make that choice. So that was the other thing. I felt like, don't tell me what to do. I'm finally fucking speaking. And then I also was like, no, I know that we have to protect some sort of their privacy, but they're never going to have their privacy is stolen already. So that was that. Anyways, I went through a deep thing, but I loved Miriam, and I knew everything that you were dealing with. And I was just like, how do I deal with this?
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that. So what I want to say on that is that, we're going to come from different perspectives, but where there is unity is that we have this shared fight of where we're trying to do the same thing. We're going to come about it in different ways. And, one thing that Jamie Mustard said on the live with Rabbit is, like, you couldn't have picked more different people. Laura and I are very different. Serge and I are different. I'm different. We all have our differences. We all, we're different personalities, but we all have something to bring to the fight. And it really is a battle for recognition. The importance is that the children's stories need to be seen and they need to be heard. And that's a way forward for healing. We will never move forward if we don't have that, if we don't achieve that. So we're all united in that goal. Yeah.
I totally agree with you because, like, and I've told Serge this, and we talk about this all the time. Is like, we're all individual. At the end of the day, we're all individual. We have our own directions in the direction we're moving forward, but you guys are all on the same mission together. You guys are all speaking the same language, but from different voices. And it's so beautiful to see because it takes a team. It's not just one person that can do this. It takes a team, and every single person here is part of the team. And every person that's been on here today and tonight, it takes that team. And so, of course, you guys are gonna have disagreements from time to time because we're all different. We can't be all just one thing. That's with Scientology. They wanted you to be one thing. That's not life. That's not what life is about. It's about you finding your foundation, which you guys were stolen of. When you were kids, you were stolen of your foundation. You didn't have a foundation. I was blessed because, I had so much beauty in my life, and that's what kills me is when I know what I've done in my life and what you guys didn't have a chance to even, like, discover. It's like, it's sad. So you guys are on a team together.
Yeah, what's really interesting to me as well, I didn't recognize that I was still afraid. Like, I thought that I'd moved through these sort of levels of fear, that when I did the Aftermath episode, that was a huge step for me. And I thought that I had overcome this fear of having to be careful about my own experiences, about talking about my own experiences, when I realized that there was a ceiling there, and that ceiling was Mike Rinder. I was scared to talk about Mike Rinder. I was scared to question him. And I basically, as information was building and I became more and more certain about what this person had participated in, I was like compelled, like I couldn't, it was just like this burst that had to come forward, and it had to be done to rip that Band-Aid off. But it's interesting how a social group or like a group can kind of, it can kind of keep you in a place. And so it's important. What you see here are very, very strong personalities who have had to say the way that things are, even if there's going to be backlash, to show strength even through decades of abuse, and to still show up and to still do that. So that's, what really people are seeing. Christy, I want to say to you, so Christy has been an advocate behind the scenes for many years, and more recently, well, she was also on the Aftermath, but and more recently is on the Children of Scientology channel. And I want to say that Christy is someone, like you guys have mentioned, who connects people. she connects people. She recognizes that we need advocacy, that we need help. So she will, when there's resources available, connections that need to be made, she will try and make those connections. So she's really is, you know, this thing that kind of keeps us together in the background. She does a lot of that work that is unseen, and I really want to recognize her for that. And another thing is that Christy and I have been looking at these children's documents, which are documents that were, and directives and orders that were written in regards to the children. Some of them are from Hubbard himself, and then some of them are ones that were written following on from there. They really do, and Christy's been the caretaker of those documents for quite a while, and we've been looking at them more recently, sort of more directly. And what was amazing to me is that what struck me about Jamie Mustard's story, the reason why I was so impacted by him, you know, one of the reasons is that he is a child of, like, some of these documents, the more horrific ones of them, I mean, they're all pretty horrifying, but the ones that are like physically, you know, like horrific, like things that would have had physical impacts on children to such a horrendous degree. That child, one of those children, was Jamie Mustard. So when I saw him come onto Aaron's channel and talk about his experiences, my jaw dropped, because I was like, we've been reading about the treatment that he was experiencing from a baby through his toddler years. We've been reading those documents. We've been looking at that information. So for him, you know, he talks about the shame that he had to overcome. For him to overcome that shame and to come and join, and, you know, and to speak out publicly about the experiences that he's had, and now to come further than that, but to kind of hold my hand through this is incredible. And so I just want to recognize Christy. This is the work that Christy is doing to continue to bring this information to light is really important, and everyone participating in sharing these stories is really important.
Yeah. Hey, Poe, nice to see you. A question: how many people total do we have today?
I couldn't even tell you. I know at one point there were over 5,000 watching live, and it's
beautiful.
I'm having trouble.
Right now we're right now we're looking at about a little over almost 3,300, and that's just the what it looks like right now. It's been spiking up and down. People are coming and going. This has been wildly successful. I know there's been some questions in the chats about, you know, how are we doing exactly? It's, you know, right now we have Miriam here in front of us, and between both the live chat of everything that we have going on and everyone that decided to be able to step up and donate, and I'm sure all of those that are part of the replay crew, I see that we're probably not only going to meet but probably exceed our expectations on this without any problem. So give us a little bit of time once this is all done, but we'll definitely have a report back in terms of the success of this. And like Aaron said, going forward, as new foundation is created, we've used this as kind of a test bed, as a method of getting together. And if we do need to work fundraisers, we kind of have gotten a lot of people together that are willing to contribute on that. And I think that I'm really happy so far with the success of this, just getting everybody together, being able to share in this, show a united front, be here for one of our members that I can't call you one of our most vulnerable, because you're probably one of the scariest and one of the most outspoken and not to be trifled with people that we have, but we have each other's backs. And I think that is what we are showing here. And Miriam, I continue to be impressed by you and what you do. Thank you, Christy. Yes, not no. And I think this is important as we like Laura said, we've worked through some stuff, right? But this is what we do. Like, it's a normal thing that people are going to do people stuff. We're going to have disagreements. How we handle those disagreements when we get upfront and personal with one another and we're able to talk through it. It doesn't mean we have to agree on everything, but it means we agree on the important things. And I think that this is an example of what we are doing here. And I'm so hugely impressed by everyone that took time out of their day in order to make this a priority. For Poe and Chad, when you guys, kind of stepped up and said, hey, we're going to start doing this. It was something that we all wanted to do. And thank you for, starting this ball rolling and for, providing the flexibility for it to grow. Because as people were like, I want to be part of that. I want to be part of that. It started to, this was a lot of people tonight. Get everyone
How many together. did we have?
Probably at least 25. I know that Poe and Aaron and I have kind of ducked in and out, but we're talking about a tremendous amount of people that have been involved. And, this is, if we look at all of us, if we look at what things were like a couple years ago, this would, like, can you imagine that we would be here right now having these conversations about this thing? Like, this is, there was a point, tip of the iceberg, and now this is starting to snowball. Like, it's big.
It's
So
everywhere. Like, this is everybody in all the different states across the world, obviously, Australia, everywhere. But even like the protesters that are protesting right now in Chicago at the event where COB is, and in Texas, they're being like, Miriam, like, it's like they shout out, where's Bob Ferris? Have you heard Miriam Francis' story? So it's literally like, it's fucking so beautiful. It's so beautiful and so powerful, and never did any of us ever plan this. And also what is so great is that we're allowed to change now. We're allowed to like stop holding this complete structure of other people's views of us and what we were taught to be our whole lives. We're allowed to believe in other things. We're allowed to feel stuff. We're allowed to love. We're allowed to be gay. We're allowed to, like, I'm just, there's like, we're just learning how to be. So it just feels like, holy crap, we're so lucky to have story and differences, Miriam. There's so many, like, your story and what I didn't know and what I thought I knew, and also what I was protecting in my mind about, don't shake up the people that have slowly brought us all out to quote unquote own our voices and stuff. But no, like, there are complete permanent patterns in people's brains because of Scientology and our permanent behavior of kids, of growing up in this gross spew, or whatever Serge always says, rhetoric of L. Ron Hubbard, that we're forgetting that it's like scary or not okay to like call somebody out when they're doing something that's not okay and dishonest and not transparent. Like, we're still holding these behaviors. So yeah. I just love it so much, Miriam. I love it so much. I'm so freaking proud of you. I'm so proud of all of us, literally all of us. There was a point I had a stuck structure about Mike Brown being like this crazy fucking, I was like, yeah, of course he joined the military. Like, so, and then
she's
when we
not
had
wrong.
this,
She's totally not wrong. So we're 100% clear. She's a little wrong, but not totally wrong. Anyway.
But I mean, I imagine I put Mike Brown in as the spanker because
whoa.
Sorry, the abuser, I should say, as the that's what we called it as kids. Oh my God, he's the only one who was allowed to spank us. He's the spanker. Go to the spanker. But Mike Brown actually never physically did that. So I had to break that up in my permanent brain, because Mike Brown to me was just a ethics superior guy that would enforce anything. Like, if somebody said, "Oh, Mike Brown said I did this, Mr. Brown," then I would be sent to go get whatever justice that was. And whether Mike Brown physically saw it happening or wasn't doing it, I still put him under this umbrella. So it's really good for all of us to really peel these onions. Who was doing the exact abuse? Were your parents there when they should have been? Were they not? Who allowed it when you did report it? What happened? So
Yeah.
that's
Laura,
all.
Laura, that's a really good point. But if we look at it, we know that at its core, Scientology is built on abuse, and the way that it kind of fosters that, just the way that it's structured, especially in the Sea organization. But we can get to that point and understand it. But this nebulous thing of it's Scientology's fault, we can only arrive at that honestly if we take it apart and like say, okay, well, what was my involvement in it? How was I a victim and how was I a perpetrator? And being able to take that apart together, it allows for us to heal and then get to the end point of like, Scientology is the problem, but we have a lot of little small problems we have to take apart in between. So as we do that, and for me, like when we worked through that, that was something that you worked through and I worked through as well. And you weren't wrong. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, exactly. It's still like a lot of people look at it. And if you think about it, like that is the thing that we need to try to strive to do, like to have those hard conversations. It doesn't mean we have to do them on YouTube. Okay. Just so we're clear, but we need to do it. Like we need to do it with one another. Like we can see where that fell apart in a situation with Miriam. Like it fell apart when that thing did not work properly. So we have to try to hold ourselves accountable, be tolerant of one another when we have those disagreements and work through them. So Yeah, that's what I would
Yeah,
like to see.
absolutely. And I think also, just recognizing opportunities. Look, it's taken me a long time to get to where I am today. Like when people say, like, look at the strength and speaking out and all that. Like this has been a long journey for me. I'm 39 years old. I'm nearly 40. I didn't get here immediately. This has taken a long time for me. When I was a kid, I couldn't even say out loud what happened to me because it was so difficult. It was that burden and that shame was so intertwined into me. When you go through incidents where the way that you react in trauma is to freeze. So I've been trying to battle my own nervous system for so long and my own trauma reactions for so long. So to freeze and to, when you freeze, you're silent, right? So that's what fear would do to me. And sometimes I would, and other times I would react with fight. And so what you're seeing here is, fight to and using the strength. Like I think that anger is a resourceful emotion. No wonder they didn't want us to get angry. They never wanted us to get angry. And the first thing that anyone says is like a criticism is like, oh, that angry person. It's like, well, they're not an angry person. You're just trying to characterize a person or to put a label on them. But in fact, they're using the resource of anger to speak about something, which can be really difficult to speak about. So if you need to use that resource, it's fine. But I think recognizing opportunities for healing, and when people, when you're sitting across the table from someone and you know that they need to know something in order for them to move forward and you have that information, then it's important that you give that to them. For Mike Rinder, for example, I sat across the table from him in 2017 and I like laid out my soul and my heart to the world in a very vulnerable way. And he didn't see it fitting to say, hey, these are the things that I know about what happened to you, So, so we need, this correction needs to happen. And that's what I'm hoping to do.
I think that something that needs to be addressed. I think something that needs to be addressed, and I don't think you get enough credit for it. Mike, the conversation with you and Laura was absolutely amazing. And you both showed such strength and depth of heart there in having that open communication between the two of you. And I just don't think
it definitely did not feel amazing. Even when I watch it back, I'm like, oh, this is horrible.
Yeah, but I don't think you both, either one of you, get enough credit for it. And I just
two,
want to
when
make
you
sure
came
you know
back-
how we feel. Christy, what were you saying, hon?
I was saying number 2, when they came back to the table, was incredible. It was incredible.
Absolutely.
The first one was painful. It was painful, but it was so brutally honest and perfect and authentic and genuine. And Mike was such a trooper and a hero for receiving what you needed to express. You had to get that out, and he was willing to
And I'm
be
sorry, Mike. I'm
receiving.
sorry. Like I literally
No,
have never
so
said this to you.
funny.
Wait, I've never said this to you, Mike. But I am sorry for putting all that on you because I didn't even know I was doing it. At the time, I didn't even know I was doing it. I was just, oh, somebody's going to talk to me and Mike wants to get into this SPTV thing. Okay, here we go. Like, I don't know. I was just like putting it all on you. And I know that and same with the, Miriam, like I knew that you knew the adults of I knew that you knew the young and the older cadets. So it was just like, oh, here we go. And then the second, and then your response and your empathy and how you reacted, even though I'm sure you didn't have all the skills at that time, even the therapy at the time to be dealing with that. It just made me go, oh my God, wow. Are you done yelling at him? Kind of like, I don't know, if as a kid, I was yelling, I was giving you, and then I realized, oh my God, Mike Brown is literally one of the only adults or older cadets that is speaking to me about the effects of all of us combined as kids having this resentment and this anger and this, like, who do we throw it at? And so Mike just happened to be the only one on my channel for me to do that. So I'm sorry.
And I don't want to be, I appreciate all of that, but at the same time, it was important to talk through it. And going into it, quite literally, when we started the whole thing of talking, I just wanted you to stop trashing me. to be honest. And that I'm going to be honest about this. Like I'm like I wish
No,
Laura
that's a good point. We
see
would
me as
all
a
wish
victim
that
too.
we would all wish that Mike would just do the right thing. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And he can do it any day now. He can literally
Right.
he can just be like, all right, I'm done with all this. Let me know what the fuck I need to fix. Who needs
So
to
I
know
don't know if anyone's we'll let to Liz in just a second, but Laura's very outspoken and she's going to roll with whatever. And I was just like, God, she's never going to shut up about this. And I was just like, so I called you and we talked on the phone, and then I realized like, wait, I just wanted to get her to shut up at first. And then when we talked, I was like, she has something to talk about. And I'm like, I hadn't looked at certain things from that perspective, because it's easy for us all to look at ourselves as victims. And I mean, all of us have been victimized. So I was like, well, I need to be a victim. And then as we talked, I was like, fuck, she's like 10 years younger than me. When I was like 14, 15 years old, 16 years old, she's like 6. And I'm just like, and then I have kids and I'm relating it to that. And I'm like, oh, I need to talk to her about this shit. So when we went into it, I tried to look at you like from the lens of like, I have children that were your age when you were in that situation. Like, I want to just listen to what you say. And I had to introspect and realize that it wasn't just about my bullshit. It was also about your bullshit too. And it was important. And the things that you said, even though, like we said, like you didn't have it all right and I didn't have it all right, but we didn't have it all wrong either. And we had to talk through that. And we need to do that. When I say we, it's not just Laura and I, it's me and whoever else that we have problems
Community.
together. We need to do that together. And it's important for us to. We have to do that. So
in the same way
as
that
we have this,
Scientology had this group agreement, they trained us to have group agreements or to not have them. It was like, it's almost hard to not separate a group from everything that happened.
Yeah.
Individually.
For sure.
Like, because everybody allowed everything to happen. Everybody in all of our positions allowed everything to happen the way it did. Because you weren't allowed to be in the Sea Org or Scientology if you didn't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Liz,
true.
you had something to say, hon?
Go. Yeah, absolutely.
You're muting
you're
yourself.
muted. I think you're muted.
Miriam, I love you. I'm going to head out because otherwise I'm about to pull an Aaron at the protest. So love you all.
Good luck.
Love you.
Well,
Talk to you soon.
Awesome.
Bye, Liz.
Hey, we'll probably, if anyone has any last remarks, we'll probably let you all say that. And then we're all going to back out except for Poe and Chad, and we'll let them kind of finish up with Miriam. Anyone else have any closing things? I know we've all kind of really been here for you and kind of poured out our thoughts. Laura, Michael, Serge.
Christy has
Melissa.
something.
Yeah, Christy.
Christy.
Oh, she even has her hand up. My gosh.
Yeah.
I'm invisible. No, I just want to say how incredible that this is, all of this today. But I know for me, finding my second gen community was incredibly important for some reason, and I didn't know why. And gathering kids and getting us together so we could talk about stuff and compare notes and whatever. And it was hard at first, and people weren't able to be authentic because we're navigating stigma and shame and disconnection, all these other horrible things. Mike Brown, we interviewed the other day, Miriam and I, and he was talking about that he hadn't actually processed this stuff and that he needed to talk to people that understood it in order to process it. And I think that is what it's about. It's being able to talk to people that know where you're coming from and where you've been, that can acknowledge it. And it doesn't mean that we're all going to agree. It doesn't mean that we all had the same experience, because you've got public kids and Sierra kids and executive kids and whatever, but the common thread is incredibly powerful. This community that I'm watching, this is like a bomb going off. We're making a correction to all the bullshit narrative that's come for decades before us. And every day I'm watching each of you inspire each other. And it's just like this chain reaction of dynamite going off. And I'm so inspired. And Miriam, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of every one of you. I'm so proud of you, Miriam. Like what you just did this last couple months. Like, you and I have been plugging away in the background, doing our little podcast, and that's all great, and it feels good, and we're happy with it. This has been like the biggest bomb. I never expected this bomb to go off. You are the catalyst that has really changed the direction of everything, and the timing is just right. And I'm so inspired by all of you every single day, and I'm so grateful. And to people that are not from our community, Michael, Poe, Chad, how remarkable to have you people listen to us, hear us, believe us, support us. It means everything. And I think together we're going to take over the world or make some changes that protect kids anyway. So that's all.
Yeah, I wanted to say, Christy, I don't think that we would have a unified group like we do now in terms of the children that came up through it. I think that it wouldn't be, as strong as we are together without Christy. I'm certain of that. I'm certain of that because behind the scenes, Christy is strengthening those connections with all of us. And I cannot say that enough. She just absolutely needs to be recognized for that. Christy Gordon should have the Trailblazer Award from the fucking the Child USA. That award needs to go to Christy Gordon. If you're going to award anybody who's, for being a trailblazer, for advocating for child victims, that should go to Christy Gordon for the work that she does. And then second to that, I would say Serge Delmar. Again, you need to be recognized for what you're doing. And I also want to say that Serge Delmar was beating the drum to have recognition for the harm that the former executives have perpetrated against children and the human trafficking element of it. And Serge was doing that before. Yes, absolutely. And more recently doing that very specifically, talking about Mike Rinder, talking about other former executives. And I don't think that I would have had the same reception coming out on my own and saying the things that I had without Serge laying that foundation, to have that recognized, that harm recognized. I do not think that I would have had the level of support that I did. So I really want to say thank you to Serge for the incredible work that he's been doing. I watch literally every one of your videos. So it's literally Serge. And that definitely needs to be recognized.
Yeah.
Serge has been saying these things for years when it was not safe to do so.
And saying exactly what it is. We were brainwashed and taught to be reasonable and be like, oh, don't say it's not that bad. No, if you're in the outside world and you were raised this way and you look at it, that's child abuse. That's rape. It's just quite in his great humor. How he's like, oh, Debbie, Mr. Cook. I guess you didn't know. It's just so interesting. I guess some people do have to hear certain things in a certain way for them to really go, I guess that is child trafficking, isn't it? But anyway, Serge, fucking love
and
you.
also,
It's just the diversity that it's our power. That's all that it means. Everybody comes and being their authentic self, and it's in our authentic self that we have the power, because then everyone gets to be and bring something to the table that nobody else has, because everybody has their own unique way. So I love all of you guys for supporting us. Thank you so much.
We love you, sir.
And can I say,
Alicia, you got something to say?
Right?
Let Christy go and I'll go after her.
Okay.
Oh, I was just going to say, in the scheme of things, we've tried everything. We started a community that's been brilliant. It has been fabulous. It's helped lift us up. We've tried activism through journalists, through websites, through TV shows, through journalists that might cover something. We've then reached out to litigation, attorneys. I mean, Serge and I have I don't know, knocked on every door, made phone calls to everyone that would possibly listen to us. We went to the Department of Justice. We've done everything we possibly could to do it the right way. We reported to human trafficking, reported to the police. We've scratched this every way that we possibly could. And I think it's come back around to, we can't trust someone else telling our story and the truth. And Miriam and I were like, we need to get on YouTube. Let's get over there. Let's add some female voices to what's happening. Aaron was here. Mark Headley was here. Mike Rinder, Aaron. They were doing a great job, but we wanted more representation. Now look at who's here. It's brilliant, this patchwork community of voices, of truths, supporting each other, not infighting, not always agreeing, but together taking our own power back. And this is really incredible. This community is incredible. And we've fought to get here, and it's not been easy. And everyone's done their part. And it's just like the planets have aligned somehow, and everyone has done so much to get us here. I'm just so grateful.
Absolutely. Alicia?
I was going to say, I feel like we all have a little role to play, and that's a beautiful thing. Christy, you're the backbone. You connect to everybody, and I love that, because some people might not know each other, might not talk, and you'll talk to one here and one there, and you can piece them together, And if stuff does go awry, you're always the one saying, hey, are you sure this is really what happened? Because I don't know, maybe you can look at this. And then we can be like, okay, we're being jerks and we're just being in our own bullshit and in our own way. So it's a beautiful thing. We have Laura, we have Serge, we have Michael. You guys are fucking heart. You're fierce. I loved seeing you guys in action in LA. Just beautiful. Miriam, good God Almighty, I love you. You're fierce, your heart, your love, and our never-ends that support us. And Mike, I'm so happy you're here. So many reasons. People can't shit talk you the same way they shit talk us because you did something really fucking good with your life.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad to be here too.
How about you, Michael?
I just want to say to everyone listening and all the people that joined us today, for everyone that's on the panel right now with us today, is like I always say this: remember to always step back and do a moment of self-care. Always remember that, because like what I saw after our protest here in LA with the big that made, you know, I talked to several of the people that were there afterwards, and it was a big emotional day for everybody. And it took a few days for it to set in, and it took a few days for them to process. But remember, give yourself that love and that time to process what you guys are going through, because these are big steps. Even though they're baby steps along the way, these are big steps. And especially for you guys, you just got to take care of yourself and just remember to give yourself that time to self-love.
Yeah. And thanks for having the best hugs ever, Michael. You're the amazing hugger. I just want to put that out there for anybody who doesn't have the convenience of hugging him. He hugs your soul, and Serge as well. Just so much love. And I love that. That's been the best part about speaking. I was just meeting so many amazing people.
Yeah. I wanted to say I want to just jump in to say something to Mike Brown before he ducks out. Mike Brown. Okay. Mike Brown, when I was going through just this fear, this incredible fear on my own, I was already going through severe post-traumatic stress. And then on top of that, I had things that had heightened the experiences. And Mike Brown was just this such a solid person through that. Backing me up, intervening, trying to help, and trying to address it. And he did attempt to do that. And it wasn't fruitful in the end, but just doing that helped me a lot. And I remember the day that we spoke on the phone, and he told me about the backlash that he had received from writing this letter to advocate for me. He wrote a letter to Claire, the president of the Aftermath Foundation, and received some backlash from it. And when he was telling me about the verbal attack that he received as a result of it, it made me feel better. I don't know how to describe it. I had been under this incredible pressure and this incredible fear that was just this horrible feeling in my body. But when he told me all of that, and he told me his responses to it, the rest of the day, I just felt light. I felt like, oh, I'm going to be okay. Something about it made me realize that I was going to be okay. And I absolutely have Mike Brown to thank for that. And Mike Brown has done a lot of work to set up this live as well today. So I really want to say thank you. And I just appreciate you for stepping in and helping me.
Well, thank you for saying that. You're very, very welcome. I did not feel super good after the phone call I received, but that's okay.
I know.
Again?
Well, this has been great. Hey, this is absolutely amazing. I think with the amount of people that have come together in all of this, we have we organized this into 3 waves where we're able to get different time zones. We had internationally, this was absolutely represented. Kelly Copter was here. We've had all different people from all different walks. This has been 100% successful. We've kind of commented in the chat that we will, kind of report back once we're able to get an idea of how successful this was. A lot of people are going to see this as part of the replay crew. So for those who do, just realize that you are able to still make donations. The information will be in the descriptions of all of our videos. The creators that were not able to stream just because we could only fit in so many on StreamYard, they're likely going to be downloading these videos and adding them to their sites as well. So, you can go to Miriam's PayPal, and it's right here on the little ticker along the bottom, and donate to that. We'll get everyone some feedback on how this event went. I thought it was extremely successful. I really appreciate everyone who contributed, and to Poe and Chad, who kind of stepped up and decided, hey, we're going to do this. And then the rest of us were able to jump in and also contribute. Thank you very much to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's an honor. So, all right, we're going to start backing people out, and we're going to finish up here with Miriam. And, it's just been an incredible night. It's been overwhelming how much this has happened, how many people are here.
I
and
love
what's
you,
going
Miriam.
on. So,
Thank you, guys.
all right,
Love you guys all.
Love you, Miriam. Bye.
Thank you, Miriam. We
Love
love
you
you.
so much, guys.
We hope you get so much love.
See ya.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
well, Miriam, do you feel loved?
I do. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. I never imagined, I'm someone that is so hesitant to ask for help. Actually, I honestly, I recognize that's been my downfall. Like, you should ask for help. But I spent so many years of my life thinking that this was my burden to carry. And I thought that for the longest time, I thought I was supposed to carry that on my own. And I
Absolutely not.
could have imagined a day like today to have this kind of support. I never, ever, ever could have envisioned it. And yeah, it's been amazing. I think like the only way that I've gotten through the last few months is because people have supported me and have, said that it's okay for me to talk about things that are true to me. And and it's by that grace that I've been able to survive this. I truly believe that.
Absolutely. It's been an amazing journey so far. Hopefully it only looks up from here for you. Chad, any closing thoughts?
As everyone knows, I stand with Miriam, and if you need anything else, Miriam, just let us know, and we'll be here, of course.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Chad. Thank you, John and Chad, for organizing this. It's amazing. We appreciate you guys so much, not having been in the system that we were, that I was born and raised in, but to have compassion and to have empathy for our situation, to recognize, what we're going through is absolutely incredible. Your voices are so important to what we're doing. And I just appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I don't think that, I think the true strength is you. It's Serge. It's all the others who have come out and have suffered such horrible events in their life and are still able to gather themselves up, get back on their feet, and keep going. When I heard what was going on with you, I'd heard your story back when you were on the aftermath, and then the updates that we got as things were going. The one thing that came to mind is that, 30 plus years, I've been doing nothing but serving and helping those who need help. And I couldn't think of a better person to stand behind and try to be that support for you to help you get the help that you need. It was very important to me that you not only got the help, but you also saw that you were loved, you were welcome. We see you, we hear you. And you need to know that there is such a huge community out there that is behind you. And it's not just the folks that were in, it's all of us who were never in. I mean, if you've been watching the comments and the chats tonight, it's been nothing but absolute love for you tonight. And we want you to know just you're a beacon for anyone else who's hiding in the shadows that have gone through horrible experiences. They can now see that yes, you can get out here, you can get on your own 2 feet, you can be that strong person. And I think it's very important that everyone sees that. I can't say
You
enough how
can
much I
be,
respect you.
yeah, and I would say, like, you know, you can be that strong person when you have the backing of a community, when you have people behind you that are going to support you, that are going to believe in you. And yeah, so that, you know, that gives you confidence, and anyone can do that. And I'm not special in that way. I just happen to you know, have had some particular grievances that I needed to air, and I've been, you know, carried by this community. Yeah.
I don't think you realize just how strong you are. I think that you are
Maybe.
unbelievably strong. You're one of the strongest people I've ever met. And I have
Wow.
nothing but respect and compassion for you. I think that you are an amazing person, and you are truly, like I said, a beacon to those who are out there and are afraid they don't know what to do. And I can't thank you enough for sharing your story with us and for being with us. And hopefully we've been able to help you reach your goal, and that you'll be able to get this treatment and start moving on with your life in a more positive, better way. And
Yeah.
just remember, you've got all of us here with you, and we all love you. We all support you. So never forget that we're here. And
Yeah.
folks, I want to say thank you so much for spending your time with us tonight. The amount of love and support coming out of you is amazing. You have all came here as a family and shown that we can do this ourselves, and we can help make things much better for so many people. It's very important that we remember we're making this a celebration for Miriam tonight. It's about celebrating the new life that she's going to be waking up into. And it's possible for everyone. We've all had traumas in our lives. And just
Yeah.
remember that there is a community out there, and there is love and support for all of you. And again, we cannot thank you enough for the precious time you've spent with us, and for all the amazing people who are donating to it. If you can't donate, we understand. All right. But those of you who can
Yeah.
donate, you're amazing. And thank you so much for it. And with that, I'd like to say, this has been amazing tonight. I can't quit saying amazing. That's how much it's been. But
Yeah.
remember always, life is short. We get one shot. Make it count.